Are you used to that? Like, how does it feel? Because like for us, it was like a movie that it goes on and on. How personal is that? And when you come here to a presser like this, do you expect this or do you plan? You know, like what you're gonna say to him?
You expect for there to be fireworks when you go in a press conference with DC. Like, he hates me. He hates me, and you know, I just try to like defend myself. You know, the guy, he tries his hardest to paint me as just a monster of a person, and ultimately, like, I'm here to fight. I'm here to win my fight. You know, my personal character or whatnot. Not everyone's going to agree with, but I am who I am. And the guy hates me, and I'm going to make him hate me more after I beat him for a second time.
Do you hate him though?
No, I don't hate him. I have no reason to hate him. My record is 23-0, right? I have a disqualification, 22-1. I hold zero animosity against anyone that I've ever competed against. They're all a part of this story that I'm trying to tell and this journey that I'm on. And it's really not personal for me. You know, when you beat someone, they're the one who goes home and cry. They're the one who has to reevaluate their life, and they go through this depression stage and do all this shit. You know, it's like, Daniel, I think he just wants to get that back so bad and put me through that, and I'm not going to let him be the guy to put me through that. And so, to answer your question was, do I hate him? I don't hate him. I have no reason to hate him. I won the first fight, and I'm going to win the second fight.
He was angry you brought up his kids. Do you regret that at all?
No, I don't regret it. So we're backstage, and he looks over at me, and he's like looking at me, staring, and I look at him, and I give him a smirk, and he goes, "What an embarrassing haircut." And I was like, and I said, well, what's going to be really embarrassing is you explaining to your kids one day how you were the champion and you never beat that Jon Jones guy. And he was just like, don't you ever bring out my kids. And he stood up, and security guards came all around us, and I just stood there calm, cool, and collected, like, well, you're the one who started the talking in the first place, and obviously I'm not going to pull any punches. And how are you going to explain to your kids how you were the champion without beating me? You weren't the champion ever, right? You were a belt holder or whatever, a belt warmer. A belt sitter, but you were never actually the champion. So anyways, yeah, so he's like, how, you know, don't talk about my kids, blah, 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 blah. And he stood up and threw a water bottle and hit me right in the face with it.
How does it feel though? Because this rivalry seems to get bigger and bigger every time you guys see each other. Like, how do you deal with that?
It's a little old, but when we're together, it's just like it's all brand new all over again. The way I deal with it is just by training. Just by training. There was a lot of things said in the first fight, a lot of things said. But I won the first fight, and people just forget everything that was said. Everyone remembers who won the fight. I gotta ask you reporters right now, give me a good Daniel Cormier quote from the first fight. You have none, right? Because who says what doesn't matter. The guy who wins the fight, the guy who gets one more win in their book, one more record on the record books, which Daniel has none. Anyways, that's the guy. That's what's remembered. So the way I deal with it is by training and winning the fight. The guy who wins the fight ultimately wins the argument.
He just told us afterwards that he doesn't buy your story of recovery.
It doesn't matter if he buys my story of recovery. I'm not here to try to recover for Daniel Cormier. It's just, I wasn't recovered last time we fought, and I whooped his ass. So whether I still drink or I don't drink, it's no one's business. And that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about whether I like Marlowe or Patron. We're here to talk about winning a fight, which I did last time and which I'm getting ready to do here in 11 weeks.
Yeah, does it matter? Does it matter if you're sober? Does it matter if you party?
It doesn't matter. As long as I'm not hurting anybody else, I don't think it matters at all. And like I said, we're here for the fight. Daniel would love for the narrative to be Jon's sobriety, or is Jon a good person, or is he a good Christian, or is he whatever. None of that matters. We're here for a fight.
So let's talk about fighting. I think 2 years ago, if you would have asked people, 9 out of 10 people would have said Jon Jones is the best of all time, the best pound for pound in the world. Do you feel like, having not really fought for 2 years, I know you fought OSP and it wasn't really a dominant win, that narrative has shifted a little bit among fans? How much does it mean to you to go down as the best ever?
Well, not every fight's an entertaining fight. It was a very dominant fight, my last fight against OSP. It was a unanimous decision, but it wasn't entertaining. But dominant it was. One-sided it was. And I do feel like I am the best fighter in the game. I think myself and Demetrius Johnson are the two best fighters in the game right now. When we talk about resumes, I don't even think it's an argument who has the strongest resume in this history of this sport. No one's beat 5 Hall of Famers within like 2 years. That's something I was able to accomplish. So, you know, I'm definitely a competitive person, but at the same time, I'm happy for other people and their success. I'm happy for Conor McGregor and all the success he's had, Demetrius Johnson, Ronda Rousey. I mean, the spotlight's big enough for all of us. While I'm happy for them, I still believe that when you really break it down to who's fought who, no one's fought the level of competition I have. That's just fact. So I think the sport was to go away right now, and we were to look at this game as historians and like who was the best. I think the argument would be closed that I was the best at this point right now. And I still have a lot of fighting to do. I'm not even 30 years old. I'm still the youngest guy in my division. So it's just like talking about being the best and still the youngest guy in the division just lets me know that it's just like it's only a matter of time before the argument's closed.
And we know that you consider Anderson Silva one of the best of all time,
yes,
right?
Yes,
Did you see all
he's
these
one of my
things
favorites,
sure. Did you see everything that he's saying and how he feels right now, and what do you think about what he's saying?
I haven't heard anything, but tell me.
So he was saying that after the fight was canceled, that he felt like a little bit used, and he wants all the middleweights to get together and fight for the class, you know, because he thinks that right now the sport got into a level that is more a circus than a sport.
More a circus than a sport? See, I don't really know. I probably won't comment too much on it because I don't really know what he means exactly about what's going on.
What about the fans who were very excited for 200 and they were let down? Should
Yes.
you be cautiously optimistic about this fight happening?
No. I have a prescription to Cialis now. I won't be taking any off-brand.
You trained with GSP.
Yes.
Apparently, his fight with Bisping is going to be shelved, according to reports. What do you think would be the best move for GSP?
GSP, I think GSP's doing all the right things. I mean, his physique looks incredible. Mentally and spiritually, he seems like he's in a good place. And I just hope that he has fun and just stay relaxed and just realize that he's doing the work. And ultimately, a lot is out of our control when we get out there. You just have to trust who you are and what you're capable of and who you're training with, and just have fun. Have fun and welcome back.
A lot of guys now like challenging all these boxer guys. How do you feel about that? And like, do you want to test yourself as well in a boxing match? And who?
Yeah, I think it's great that the fighters are challenging themselves against boxers. It's great for both sports. It keeps us both relevant. It keeps the people talking. As far as me personally, I have no one in particular that I'd like to challenge, but I would totally be up for a boxing match against a big name. You know,
Joshua, he seems like
anyone but that guy. Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. I'm a big fan of his. But yeah, I would totally be up for it for the right buck and you know, something that makes sense.